You read that right. Hey, welcome to that channel over there where I am today, right now, going to praise Karen. I understand her a little bit more. You know, the older you get, the clearer you see things and the more you understand her.
Oh, look, some skateboarders.
You can't skateboard here.
What was that?
I want to talk to the manager.
No. No, what's happening to me?
There goes the neighborhood. You're trespassing, okay? This is a private neighborhood. Don't film me!
I'm calling the police.
No! Please! No! God! Somebody help me, please! No!
Yes, hi, I'd like to report a crime. 3 juveniles skateboarding on my sidewalk. Thank you. I called the cops. I called the police.
Now, here's a serious question. Do you sweat for a living? Like, that's the reason why Karen acts the way she acts. It's because she has done a lot and she wants to make sure that she protects that. Karen is just protecting her values, what she worked really hard for, and the facade that she would like to keep. Now, I think all of us are afforded that right. Let's make sure that we do that. So, how do we do that? We affirm ourselves and we stand our ground and we stand up to what we believe in, and we make sure that our voices are heard, because we are important too. Importance isn't just for Karen. It's important for us all. So, let's learn from Karen.
Scooby-Doo-bop. And it's just that easy. It's just that easy. To what? To go and vote. So I went in and I voted early. I had to. I was not going to be stuck in a long, drawn-out line just to get my vote in. I didn't want to have to deal with some of the things that I have heard that has been going on. Have you guys heard what has been? I mean, shenanigans. It's been shenanigans since the early voting started. And it's madness out here. People are voting twice but not voting, meaning people are going to go cast their votes and somebody's already told them that they have a vote that was already cast. And they're like, what do you mean? And it's because somebody got a hold of some ballots and they duplicated them. And I'm ad-libbing with the duplication. I don't know how another copy of their ballot got done, but they were called by the officials and they're like, hey, something doesn't add up about your ballot. We're giving you a call. And the people are like, well, actually I had my ballot sitting right here. I didn't cast anything. What are you talking about? That was like 12 different people. Then it was like 9 people. I don't know. It was a whole lot. I'm just going to display some of the stuff. And then it was 1,600 people that they took off. Well, actually, it was way more than that. But they took off and then they put back on in Virginia because they were trying to say that they was not legal citizens. But then they were. And they was like, look, you just go on and put them people back on there. Come on now. Come on. And then you have the shenanigans at the poll. When you get to the poll, this was one person, like, he went and go knock this lady out because they talking about some, hey, you got to take off that hat you got on. And he went to go punch the lady in her face, poking fingers and punching. It's ridiculous. And I mean, women, like, this is a big dude, right? Going up against this woman, and he got the whole crowd of people that's around him talking about something. Hey, you can't do that here. And he don't care. And then you have the other people who this one lady, I'm a post her thing right here. Well, what happened is she went to go vote, and she was thinking that these people that came out like an official stance was just, like, oh, we got to check this and we got to do that. And they asked her a few questions that did not sound right, but she answered them anyway. And then she realized, oh, wait a minute. They said, here's your sample ballot. And she realizes that, they gave her something to vote for Trump and everything. And she's just like, yeah, no, thank you. This is not me. Like, why would you think this would be me? And, she's like, I'm voting for freedom. It's not about women. It's about freedom. This vote is about freedom. We want to be free to not just have autonomy with our bodies, but autonomy with our lives. That's what's on the ballot. And then you got the people who are like saying, oh, they're still trying to pit us against each other. Any kind of way to divide and conquer. They are trying to do that, you guys. So you got a whole bunch of people talking about well, wait a minute. How come this is all about women? And what about men? Look, ain't nobody saying that a man is not important. Men, you guys are the most important. This system was made by you for you. Okay? We want a piece of our pie. The rest of the people who got a little light and scratchy voice like me want a piece of the pie because it's legal. It's our right. And we want to exercise it. We don't want to listen to Trump when he says, oh, just go and vote. And this is the last time you have to do it. Don't worry about it. No. I want to vote this time, and I want to vote the next time, and I want to vote the next time after that. And then you have the people who are mad at people for saying, hey, you could go into that booth and you could vote the way you want to. Because I didn't even realize all this time you had people who were mad in the way that they thought, in telling their wives and their significant others, hey, look, we're blah, 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 and we're going to vote for blah, blah, blah. Look. The bottom line is, if you're from a red state, it doesn't matter. If you're from a blue state, it doesn't matter. What matters is if this person upholds the values, not has the same equipment down below as you do. It matters if this person's values align with yours. And if you have somebody that's telling you not only is their values against yours, but they also want to do away with the Constitution and everything that this whole entire country was founded on, what a slap of disrespect. Like, that's treasonous talk. Like, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. But you don't have to get mad. You don't have to get seething with anger and tell everybody off. You don't have to go and get up on the top of a roof like that person in Pennsylvania. You don't got to do none of that. All you have to do is walk yourself into the booth and do what you want to do. That ad that Kamala had was right on point, because them ladies, they vote for whoever they wanted to vote for. In the commercial, of course, you know who they vote for because it's their particular ad. But the truth is the truth. You go into that booth and you vote your conscience, not the conscience of the family, not the conscience of whatever your husband tells you to do. And the same thing vice versa. Not the conscience of your wife, not the conscience of your organization. You vote for who you want it to. And that's how Trump got in office the first time. People will smile in your face and tell you that they was going to vote for somebody else, but they turned around and they voted for Biden. They voted for for Trump. They didn't know no better. It's okay. They didn't know no better. But now that they know better, people are like, well, wait a minute now. The last I checked, this wasn't being a big Republican. This is being a Trumpican. Trumpican. This is being a Trumpican. Which is very fitting because he does look like some sort of a tropical bird or something. I don't know. He's got the suntan thing going on and everything. He looks a little weird. So he's a Trumpican. Trumplican. That's what it is. Trumplican. That's what that is. That's not a Republican. And so the Republicans are like, okay, well, wait a minute. The only thing that kind of looks like the democracy that I was raised up on and I knew and I loved and everything is being a Democrat. And why can't a Democrat do the same thing that a Republican can do? So if the Republican can offer blah, 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 like if they say, oh, we're going to give tax cuts, well, why can't the Democrats give tax cuts? They can give tax cuts too. But let me tell you why you broke. The reason why you broke and the reason why you ain't got no money is because Trump and his cronies and anybody else who thinks like him or who works with the Republicans are like, yeah, well, let's give some more tax cuts. Let's give some more breaks. Let's do this. And we need the billionaires to hire our people. If we don't give them tax cuts, they're not going to hire our people. They're not going to hire the people anyway. They will only hire as many people as they need in order to get to the ends and the means that they want. Point blank, period. That's it. So if the Republicans think they're giving a billionaire you know what? Hold on. Let me just talk about taxes real quick. Because we got Elon Musk sitting up there doing cartwheels on the stage and everything. He's all happy, showing his dad belly and everything as he's doing these weird crazy jumps and hoots and hollers all over the place, like he ain't got sense and like he a man that don't have, like what, $350 billion. This is a man who is well on his way to being the first freaking trillionaire in the world. Why does he need a tax cut? The person that needs a tax cut is me, the lower middle class. It's me, the person who doesn't make more than $50,000 a year. It's me, the person who works at McDonald's. I need a tax cut. And Trump has the nerve to go and work in a McDonald's for a few hours for a photo op. He don't give two about them people that work in there. He can't identify with them people at all, sitting up here trying to get his big behind into a daggone trash truck. The trash truck was just like, oh no, he pushed back some energy. It was like, don't you get in me. And then Trump just, like, that's why he fell all over his feet and stuff. Because not even the trash truck wanted him to get inside of him. Anyway, so why do these people who make millions and billions of dollars need tax cuts? Why does Jeff Bezos need tax cuts? I mean, come on now. One thing that I at least can say for Bezos, or am I saying his name right? Bezos. The only thing that I can say good about him is that he said, you know what? Okay, you guys are trying to unionize, and although I put the pressure and the screws to you in different kinds of ways, I'll appease you by giving you more money. Here's more money. Here's more benefits for your job. Here's safer conditions. And I'm not saying that he's the best of the best to work for, but I'm telling you that at least he did something. At least he became a little bit selfless. Because let me tell you something. God is not going to make you spend all your money and make you destitute and broke and poor and can't eat. He's not going to do that. Because whatever you spend that is out of what God has blessed you with and you decided to bless other people with, you're going to get that money back. And sometimes you have to think about the money, because that could be a fitna for you. It could be a trial and a tribulation for you to have all this money. God is giving you this money because he wants to see what you're going to do with it. Not to bless you because he just loves you so much. No, he is doing it to test you with it. Everything is a test. So if you're a billionaire and you're surrounded by people who don't have no money, don't have nothing, and instead of saying, you know what, for this month or next month or whatever, I will pay everyone's electricity bill because I literally can do that. But you don't. And you just pocket the money. Well, God is taking account of that.
Fun fact, you'll never lose what you give. There's even a tax cut for that too.
But all in all, it is definitely a test. And why do all of the people who make a little bit of money, who is not within that wealth of the 10% of people in the world, the whole 90% pay for everything else? I don't understand. How come they don't pay? How come they get to pocket all of the proceeds? All of the money? They can never use this amount of money in their entire lives. I don't care what they do. They could buy the biggest of the fanciest of yachts. They could buy a fleet of yachts. What can you buy? Can you buy that quarter pounder from McDonald's and hopefully hope that the onions don't kill you? Can you do that? So what I'm saying is, They don't need no tax cuts. What they need to do is pay some money into the tax system, because there's so many different things that they can do, and they can write off. They can write off so much to the point where they don't pay anything at all, or they pay $50. Can you imagine being a multi-billion-dollar company and all you done paid in taxes was $350 in that year? Well, that's what they do. That's what they do. Because you remember that guy? It was Bloomberg. He said, my secretary pays more in taxes than I do. And this guy's got a lot of money. A lot of money. He employs his secretary and has a whole company, and he is Forbes. He is the Fortune 500. He is that, right? He taught everybody how to do with the stock market and how to do everything else. Like, this man got money. He got old money, new money, and money. All he wakes up and he makes $200 million before he puts his shoes on, okay? Why does he need a tax cut? The reason why people used to make it, and the reason why there was a middle class that was even carved out of the people here in America, I can't speak for anybody else, is because the companies were taxed fairly. Even with a tax reduction, there still was billions of dollars coming from all of the trillions of dollars that they generate per year. Come on now. It put more money, and they paid their people well. We got people who are billionaires who are saying, I want to double my money. Double it for who? Double it for what? None of your kids is going to go poor. You can pay all of your utilities. You can pay all of the people that you work for, and you are making a profit off of the thing that you are providing for the entire world, your country, whatever. You're making money off of that. But you want a tax cut, and you think it's unfair for you to pay any goddamn thing, but you think it's okay for me to pay. The reason why America is broke, and we are, I don't know. I thought it was 17 billion. I thought it was $17 trillion, but I think it's more like maybe $35 trillion in debt. Again, we don't have no money. We don't have no money. The people who think that we have money, I don't even know where they get this illusion from. America is absolutely broke. We're broke. We ain't got nothing. I used to think that everybody thought that the streets were paved in gold. But that is finally spreading around the rest of the world that America ain't got no money, and it's not as easy to live here as you think it is. Even in our thoughts, the money that was in our thoughts and imagination, in those bricks that was on the ground, and people think that it's paved in gold, they being picked apart and they was taken away and smelted down and made into something else. A computer chip somewhere that somebody got a tax break from because they went and got the pavement for free. They stole it, and then they made computer chips out of it, and then they turned around and they sold it to us for, trillions of dollars. Yeah, that and that's from our imagination. They stole money from our imagination, you guys. The reason why we're broke is because big companies, conglomerates, these people don't pay taxes, and they try to cut all kinds of corners, and they're trying their best to make money for the people on Wall Street, in the stock market. These people are getting nothing but huge and greedy. There used to be a time where somebody had a house and they had a summer house. If you can buy a house, then great. But if you have that summer house and you turn around and you pay, you got a summer house, and you turn around and you get somebody to rent that summer house for you or something like that. Maybe you can you could do an Airbnb or something like that. But then the companies with their greedy butts, they said, well, wait a minute, what are they doing? Well, I got money. Well, let's see if we can get into this rental program. It's unfair. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. You know what I think? I think that the Democrats would put a stop to that. But I think the Republicans are going to turn the other way, and they're going to say, okay, well, everything's fair. They got money to buy it. Why can't they buy it too? They can't buy it because it's unfair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. I can't buy a house now because I can't find a house that I can afford, because these people went and bought up all of these houses and properties and everything and jacked up all the prices. So it left me out, me being the regular Joe. There's so many people that can't afford these houses. Look, I need to have an inspection done on this house. I need for that to count. I need for it to count for you to give me some money off of the list price. I need for it to count for it because there's a bad roof on this piece of property. I need for all those things to count. But those things can't count, not in this climate, because you have to pay for all of that and give money on top of that you don't have. So is it even worth it to have a house? People are living in people's backyards. People are living in Sprinter vans because we can't afford stuff. You know? Like, this is crazy. And it's all because these big companies don't want to pay taxes. And the only thing these companies are doing, only thing these Republicans are doing is saying, hey, we'll give you more breaks. We'll give you more breaks. They can't get more breaks if they don't get in office. And the only way that they can get in office, the only way, is if you and I vote for them. But if you and I don't vote for them, they don't get more tax breaks. The reason why the economy is righted when it's a Democrat in office, and you best believe with the crappy hand that Joe Biden was given, he is leaving, even though you may not like his politics and you definitely don't like the side that's going over there. But he left this economy in better condition than it was before, and in a position of growth. So the reason why when the Democrats get in office is because they make people accountable. They make people pay more. They make people, when I say people, I mean the big companies. They make sure that they have people like, what's her name? I can't remember her first name, but Miss Khan. What is she in the SEC comms? I don't know. Don't get me wrong. But look, she's like, hey, company A, company B, company C, company all of you guys. You guys, this is bad practice. Don't do that no more. You know? And if you don't fly right, then you're going to get this and you're going to get that. So, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot. And if you value your life as it is, meaning being an American that has say, being an American that can still speak. I mean, we don't have the freedom, the freest of freedoms to speak too much and do too much anymore. But if Trump gets in office, we're going to lose all of that. And I really do want to believe that what I told my kid the other day when my kid said, hey, I'm scared, mommy. I'm scared of the election. I'm scared of what's going to happen. I'm scared of these people who say that they want bloodshed and they want this, that, and the other. He said, I'm scared. And I said, you know, one thing that I can say about America is that when all of the chips are down and it looks like it's the bleakest and it's the worst and it's the baddest and it's doomsday is coming, that's when we get together and we do the right thing and the right person wins. And the bad thought person or happening that looked like it was impending doom doesn't happen. Because there's a wake up in people's brains that, wait a minute, I can't do this. And I don't know why some people they think that the STEMI check. It's like, okay, so let me ask all of the black guys this question. If the STEMI check is the reason why you're going to vote you're going to vote for Trump, is that's so he bought your vote, basically, which is illegal. And that's not why it was done. The STEMI checks was done because all of the Democrats got together and fought to make it happen. And the only reason why we had STEMI checks is because by a slim majority of Democrats voted for it, not the Republicans, okay? That's the only reason why you got your STEMI check is because of Democrats underneath of Republican rule. And the only thing that the president had to do was sign the papers because the Congress holds the purse. Okay, so it was Democrats that gave you the STEMI check. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that Trump gave you the STEMI check, right? He put his name on it, but that's about it. So he bought your vote for $1,200. Now, this is going to be a little controversial, so lean in and hear me closely. Black people, black men, whoever's voting for Trump because he gave you a STEMI check, I don't care what color you are, but especially you black guys, because I heard that there's like 25% of you guys who are actually thinking about this because of the stimmy checks. Let me ask you this. If that man can buy you off for $1,200, let me up the ante. I got $1,500 for you. I'll give you the $1,500 if you promise to be my slave for the rest of your life. Don't worry about it. You don't have to vote ever again. Don't worry about it. We got that fixed so good, you won't have to ever worry about that again. But I'll give you, because I need some people to work for me. I need extra hands. I need somebody to wash my clothes. I need somebody to clean my house. I need somebody to drive me around like driving Miss Daisy. Would you do that for me? I got $1,500 for you, and I'll buy your life. And the reason why that probably hurts your soul to hear, to think that I am despicable when I say that, is because hopefully deep down you will see that I just drew a correlation to that. Because for $1,200, that man has bought your vote and bought your life, because he wants to do away with all your rights and make you into being whatever he says that you are worthy of. Which for Trump is, you're not even worthy of sticking to the bottom of his shoe as a piece of gum that somebody spit out of their mouths. How about that? That's real and true. So, I don't have $1,200 for you. I got $1,500 for you. Can I buy your life? Will you be my slave? Will you be your next door neighbor's slave? Because you sure enough won't be working for yourself no more afterwards. And all of the women, would you be my slave? Because somebody gave you a stimmy check, would you? Would you do that? Because that is effectively what you would be doing and what you would be saying. You're saying, I don't value myself. You're saying, I don't care. $1,200 is enough to buy my vote. I'm a smile because this man who does not like me has bought my life for $1,200. At least he gave me something. Well, I'll up the ante. I'll up the ante and give you 15 because I'm giving you more. Am I more better than he is? Am I better? Come on now, people. Use your brain. Your vote is priceless. That's why they're spending all of this money to get you to vote for them. Your vote is priceless. You put a price on your vote. You put a price on your life. You put a price on this country. You put a price on the Constitution. You put a price on your future. You put a price on your children and your family's future. You put a price on all of the people who fought to work hard to make sure that you can have what you have right now, and you're spitting in the face of all of your ancestors and all of the people who voted for you and all of the people who went hard for you to make sure that you can work free, that you can choose the job that you have, that you can walk down the street and don't have to worry about having a letter in your pocket from massa telling you that you have authority to walk down the street. You have so much power in that vote. And you are giving it up for $1,200. You stupid. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And what? You don't want a woman, let alone a black woman, to be your next president? Are you freaking kidding me? Who's running the country now? Joe Biden sure ain't. He making gaffes all over the place. He still makes sense sometimes. But who running? You think she gonna run this country? The same people that's running the country now is gonna run the country. But they cannot determine who gets in office. You determine who gets in office. That billionaire don't mean nothing. That That billionaire can't do anything without your vote. He's given let me tell you, Elon Musk is giving all of these people, and they look all like the palm of your hand, $1 million every day for their votes. Because that is how much money it costs to buy their vote. But it cost only $1,200 for you.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Think about that for a second. This man is giving $1 million away, not just for their vote, but for them to say, hey, everybody, I think this is a great movement. I think this is, MAGA all the way. Yay. It cost $1 million to get them to move in a certain kind of way. And the way that they even worded it was like, well, if you happen to vote this way in this swing state, then I'll give you $1 million if you sign this waiver and you go out and do some working and talking for us. So technically, he's not buying votes. But technically he is. But technically he isn't. But technically, Trump bought your vote for $1,200. Your priceless vote. The other people with a palm color on their faces need at least $1 million. All because you don't want a woman to be president.
Gotta laugh, peace, and crime.
All because you don't want a woman to be president. How do you... What? That's like saying, I don't like my mama. I don't like my auntie, and I don't like no teacher to help me. I don't like no women. What is up with you guys and women? What is that? Some of the best people who have ever governed in the history of history have been women. Women do the best at ruling. Not all of the greats, but most of the greats. A lot of the greats. Check it out yourself. Especially in Africa. The rulers are women. Women. They command respect, and they get that respect because they not only make sure that your pockets is fat, but also that you're taken care of. You need that nurturing from a woman. You need that understanding from a woman. You need that I'm going to get my things and everybody else's things together from a woman. When there's a crisis, you go to a woman, especially a black woman. Why can't Kamala Harris be president? Oh, you think because she got on her knees and she did a little dance or two for some people? Didn't you ever get on your knees and do a dance or two for somebody? Didn't you? Every time you go into the bedroom, whether it's your girlfriend, your wife, or some, fly by night nobody or one night stand, you got on your knees and you did some nasty things for somebody. Does that mean that you can't be president? Come on now. What kind of thought process is that? All of the men who have gotten up there have put us in, $35 trillion worth of debt. Compounded over each one of them. The reason why these people is rich is because they playing with your money. Your money being American money. They taking that credit card from America. And they running up the bill all over the place recklessly. Because it's your money that they messing with. You broke because they not paying into it. They just robbing. That's robbing Peter. It's not even paying Paul. They just robbing. And you going right along with it, thinking that they high and mighty and they big and bad and everything, while they playing around with your credit card, trying to figure out how they gonna fleece you for some more. And you right there with it. Well, you gave me $1,200. Thank you, sir. Here you go. Here's my vote. Here's my priceless vote. $1,200. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Yeah. And for those of y'all who believe in God, let me tell you something. God is giving you so much that you can never ever repay him. You can never ever pray enough to God and thank God enough for what God has done for you. Okay, I don't care how broke and poor you are. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how cool you are. I don't care how unhappy, sad, or glad you are, or grateful you are. You can never repay the thanks that the generosity that God is giving you for you being you. He has made sure that you might go hungry a day or two. It's just a test. But you ain't dead. You're not dead. If you need a good example of how hard it is to off a human being, just look at those people over there in the Middle East. They're like, goodness gracious, we starving these people. We're not giving these people no food and no water and no electricity, no fuel, no medical, nothing. And it's still a lot of them. And they still producing babies. And they still.
That's because they're blessed.
And still, it's because your life force is magnificently efficient.
My point is, you are so blessed and you are pissing God's blessings away.
And so, when the devil comes to tempt you, and you go ahead and take the bait for a little bit, for a plate of food, or for a night in paradise, so you think. When he come and tempt you and you take that, it's a slap in the face. But God is nice. God is cool. You know, he's forgiving. Are these Republicans forgiving? They will have so many black people strung up. You remember Charlottesville? Charlottesville will be a cakewalk compared to what's going to happen if Trump gets in office. All the little gains that you got, and they're not even little gains, they're huge gains because nobody gave black people anything. So they're huge gains. You got something? Oh my goodness. Winning against all odds. But you're going to give it all up for a plate of food that was given 4 years ago from the Antichrist. Come on now. Come on. Use your smarts. Vote for that woman. Because women are some of the best rulers ever. And you will be taken care of. That's for sure. But you guys, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better. You got to vote blue. You got to vote blue. I have a Republican person in the Senate. And I didn't vote for him. I voted for this other person. They say that she hasn't been. They say that she did some funny little stuff with some money or whatever, and she didn't pay into something or other or something like that. And they saying, oh, she's lying to the American people. All of them lie. All of them lie. All of them have not paid something or stolen some money from out of a coffer here and there. You know, a little skim, little money, little $2, $3 here. You know, they've gotten something, some sort of incentive off of something at some point in time. So I'm not going to say I don't want this person as my representative. No, I want her as my representative, and I voted for her. Yes, she's going to go, and she's going to be a new senator. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Because who's to say that somebody else, like somebody got a kickback? I'm pretty sure somebody said, hey, Senator Hogan, I need you to come, you know, like we'll make sure that you get the big thigh on your plate. Come on now. That's an incentive. So anyway, you guys got to do better. The reason why you're broke is because these big time people ain't paying taxes. And Kamala Harris is saying, she's not saying that she's going to tax them to death, but she's like, hey, you guys, you got to chip in something. You know, and then on top of everything else, Trump said he wants to suspend the Constitution. He hates women. He hates women. If you're not a white evangelical man, evangelical Christian man, he don't like you. I don't care how much he smiles in your face. And I don't care how much he says that he loves black men. He just loves black men. Hey, he's lying. He will say anything to you to make sure that he stays out of jail. And that's another thing. If you think that his convictions and everything give him street creds, Where your street creds at? Didn't you have to see the inside, all the felons that are listening to this or maybe listening to this? And if you know somebody, give this to them. So, but they still are, having to deal with the repercussions of having to be locked up or still locked up now. Like, what did them street creds get them besides a sentence? This man has got all of these different indictments and counts and all this other stuff against him and a conviction. And he hasn't seen the inside of a jail cell at all. And probably won't ever. They'll do something to him. They'll give him like a little dirt, special platter to go on and eat off of. But anyway, I have talked enough. I voted. And I avoided those crowds. And I hope you guys do the early voting too. Because they got all kinds of shenanigans that's out there. And just get ahead of it. Okay? Get ahead of it. Exercise your vote. Your vote matters. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm telling you that you need to vote blue. Because that is the only democracy that is on the ballot. The red people, the Republicans, they're not Republicans. No. They're Trumplicans. Okay? So you either vote Democrat or Trumplican. I'm not voting for Trumplicans. No. I voted for America. I voted for my freedom, and I voted for my tomorrow, and I voted to make sure that my children still have a democracy when they get older too. So everybody, no matter what, all of the red people, they got to go. All of the people that's up for re-election, they got to go. You have to vote all the way Democrat, all the way blue. And you have to get rid of these thought processes that you have in your mind about what this person stands for and that person stands for. Democracy is really on the ballot. It really is. Because Trump said to your face, I'm going to take it away. He said, I want to be your forever president. Do you want him as your forever president? He can't remember stuff. He bumbling all over the place, tripping all over the place, getting all skinny because he old. His mental decline. You want to see that man sit up there and hold a press conference and dance for a half an hour? What kind man? Come on now. Seriously. And not just dance to anything. He gonna dance to old people music because he old and crusty and don't give two craps. He wants to have Elon Musk and whoever else who's a billionaire take over. He talks about them like they're gold, And what are they? But they're not even paying taxes. That's not American. Americans pay taxes. And they're not being American by not paying taxes. So come on now, people. Let's get it together. Let's vote blue so we can try to fix all of this stuff.
I'm with
Who
her.
cares about who wants to love someone else and all this other stuff? Look, that's small potatoes compared to you losing all your rights. The small potatoes. I know I don't want to go back to being 3/5 of a person. I'm a whole person. I don't know about you, but I'm a whole person. And if you're a whole person, you will vote blue.
Karen Energy Ignite.
And all of you people who say, oh, I'm a Republican, stop it. Stop it. I vote for whoever is going to further what I believe in. I don't care if you're red. I don't care if you're blue. But I know we don't have no such thing as red right now. We don't have a such thing as red. There's no such thing as a Republican right now. None. There's none on the ballot. We can't let them get in control of anything. They can't be in control of the Senate. They already showed you that they can't be in control of the House because they can't even pick a House Speaker for 3 straight weeks. What in the heck? America's on autopilot because they can't make a decision. Do you want that? Come on now, people, get over yourselves. Did you know that the South used to be all blue? Did you know that? The reason why they changed over is because they didn't like some of the stuff that the Democrats were saying. So they started to become Republican. So for like 50 years ago or so, probably not even a whole 50 years, but yeah, about 50 years ago, they said, okay, well, we're gonna vote red. How about that? Did you know that the Republicans used to stand for everything that the Democrats stood for? Now all of a sudden they just turned over and then went a different direction. Come on now, y'all. It don't matter who you vote for, as long as they align with your with the way that you do things, your the way your values are. And if they don't align with anything American, like Trumpins do, Trumplicans,
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
don't vote for them. It's just the common sense. But like I said, my offer's still on the table. If you want me to pay you $1,500 and you become my slave for life, then fine. But you have to vote. You have to vote for a Democrat. Isn't that the same exact thing Elon Musk is doing? Doesn't that sound insane? Anyway, okay, I am out. I hope you listen to the whole damn thing. I really do. Because when I wake up on the 6th, I want to have a job. I want to have a life. And, who knows? But, we all might have to go and push those people aside and move south. We going to have to go to Mexico or Venezuela ourselves. We going to have to move them people over in Ecuador. Be like, oh, this is what y'all was pushing away from? Y'all got jungles and everything down here. Ooh, wow. Let's find out. There's a tent up here. It's better than living up underneath of a tent in daggone Los Angeles or some other place underneath some bridge somewhere. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Cause something's got to give here.
I heard Japan was nice.
Because you won't be an American because the Constitution is going to be gone, and nobody's going to care about you if you're not a white evangelical man, and you women already dying in the emergency rooms, and look, something's got to give. At least they'll help you out down in the South America or something like that. They care about women a little bit more. Golly. Anyway, all right. I'm out.
And I thought that I was putting out this video a little bit too late, but you know what? It's never too late to have positive energy, because the fat lady has not sang yet. So let's have this positive energy. I hope that this has definitely taught us some things about ourselves. And whatever I said in my video, I stand 10 toes down by. Hey, you can go out and research it yourself. This is not things that I'm pulling out of my rear end. These are facts. And facts you cannot refute. Go look it up. Everything I said, 100%, 100. But one thing I know that I am is 100% on the side of America. And we will prevail in the right and best way. We got to keep this good, strong energy. And we have to start learning things on our own and getting smarts, because if you do not know your history, you are going to be doomed to repeat it. And we don't have to wait on the school system to teach anybody anything. You can pick up something, a book, read online, find out the actual source. And the best places to get your resources these days, I believe that it is those college textbooks, the things that they teach the college students. Those things are facts. Go learn from there, because it's not some tainted book that somebody decided that they wanted to come up with on their own. So the source is the source. Okay? Ask and pray that you get enlightened, and make sure that you go out there and you research and you find knowledge out on your own, and you can teach your family what you have learned. You can teach your kids about all of those things that they took out from school. You don't need them. That's why there's a such thing as homeschooling. But you can't be lazy about it. You got to be real about it. Our kids deserve parents that teach about life. We can't all be on autopilot. Let the little kids, and then when they get a little bit older, everything is a teaching moment. Everything. All right. I'm out. Keep the positive energy. We got this. I believe in America. America. Oh yeah. Coming to save the mother-ucking day, yeah.
Karen, energy, ignite!